Hey friends, and welcome back to another video. If you're new, I'm Zoe. I love bullet journaling, sewing, cooking, and baking, as well as a lot of other things. On my channel, I currently only have bullet journaling videos, so today I'm going to bring you along one of my sewing projects. I have used this bullet journal for a little over 3 months now, so I wanted to change things up and decorate the plain, boring black cover of my bullet journal. That's why in this video, I'm going to be making a cute cloth book cover with an elastic for my bullet journal. Let's jump right into it. The materials I'm going to be using are fabric scissors, thread scissors, regular scissors, pencil, pins, ruler, elastics, and of course fabric, and also wrapping paper. First of all, let's talk about the cloth. After looking through my small collection of cloth, I decided that I'm going to be using this really cute light pink cloth with cherry blossom prints. This cloth is really pretty and it's not too thick. Although it may not be the best cloth to make a book cover with, as it is a little bit like a canvas material, which would make my cover kind of bulky, I love the design, so I'm going to use it anyways. First, I'm going to use the wrapping paper to make a stencil. If your cloth has a straight edge, and if you trust yourself with making and cutting straight lines, you can skip this step as it is really just cutting out a rectangle. But I'm going to do it because I don't know a good way to do this. If you have any suggestions or tips for me, be sure to leave it in the comment section down below. It will mean a lot to me. To calculate the amount of cloth you will need, let's look at this diagram I drew. As you can see, my bullet journal has a height of 21.5 centimeters, a width of 13 centimeters, and a spine of about 2 centimeters. Using these dimensions, we are going to add the width of the front cover with the spine and the back cover, and also add another one of the width because that is going to be the cloth that goes inside the cover, the part that holds the cloth to the book. It's easier to understand with a visual, so let me show you. So this is a book cover that I made, and the extra cloth will be for this part. Then for the height of the cloth, I'm going to add about 8 centimeters to the height of my bullet journal for the seams. With the dimensions calculated, I'm going to cut it out on the wrapping paper. The great thing about wrapping paper is that there are straight lines conveniently printed out on there, or at least for the ones that I have, so that you can easily follow it while you're cutting. Now that I've finished cutting the stencil out, I'm going to pin it onto the cloth and trace it using a pencil. Next, I'm going to remove the stencil and cut it out. Here's some cutting ASMR. After cutting out the cloth that I need, I'm going to iron out the wrinkles so that I have a smooth piece of cloth to work with. Okay, now that we've got a smooth cloth to work with, I'm going to fold the short edges of the cloth over twice, about 1 centimeter, to hide the edge of the cloth. As for the long edge of the cloth, I'm only gonna fold it over once because it's going to be hidden when we put it onto the book. To show you, I got my other book cover again. To see the seam, you have to take the book out, so let me do that. As you can see, the seam is behind this crease, which is behind the book. So technically, it is folded over twice by another stitch, just that the second fold is not completely stitched down. Hopefully what I'm saying makes sense, but if it doesn't, maybe the visuals will. When I'm done pinning the sides down, I'm going to iron it so that it creases the cloth and it'll stay down better. After that's finished, I'm going to take my sewing machine out and sew it down. Next, I'm going to quickly go around and snip off all the loose threads. Now that that's done, it's time for a quick mooncake break. Look at this coffee custard mooncake my friend made. It's so delicious. Shout out to her for making this yummy mooncake. Anyways, back to the bullet journal cover. The next part is kind of hard to explain, but basically, I'm putting my bullet journal onto the center of the cloth with the cloth's right side facing up. Then I'm tucking the sides in and pinning it down. Make sure to close the book before pinning it down because when you close the book, it needs more fabric. After that, I'm just going to mark where the edges of the book is so that I know where to sew when creating the pocket. Before sewing the sides down, I'm going to take some elastic the length of my bullet journal and connect it to the back side of the cover. For me, I want my pattern to be facing this way, so I'm going to attach the elastic to this side. This is totally optional, but I think it's really functional, cute, and brings the cover to a whole nother level. To attach the elastic, place it flat inside the pocket and pin it down. No flips are needed. As you can see, when we flip it inside out in the end, the elastic will be laying in the right place. Lastly, before sewing it in place, I'm going to put my bullet journal into the cover one more time to make sure all the measurements are correct and make any adjustments as needed. Again, make sure to close the book and make sure you have enough stretch to be able to close it. As they say, measure twice, cut once. Now, I'm going to take my journal out and sew along the lines that I marked earlier. With all the sewing done, I'm going to quickly take out all the pins and snip off the excess threads. As you can see, when we turn it inside out, the corners are a bit bulky from all that excess fabric stuffed in there. So before turning it inside out, I'm going to cut off the corners of the fabric. Make sure not to cut too close to the seam. Zoe from the future. I forgot to do this, but it'll be best if you iron down the folds before you put your book in, as it will keep the folds from unraveling. And that's all. It's a cute and easy book cover for my bullet journal. I think this is a really fun and non-permanent way of changing up or decorating your journal or books. But wait, one more thing. I'm going to take a Sharpie and write my name and date, just like what artists do when they're done with an art piece. Now I'm really done. Thank you all so much for watching my videos. It means a lot to me. As always, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already, and make sure to check out my other videos. Love y'all, and see you in the next video. Bye for now!